Hare Krishna. So today we're going to talk about high blood pressure and cardiac problems. So we have different herbs, vegetables, and seeds that are useful in avoiding or healing cardiac problems. So we'll start with angina. Angina means you have tightness and pain in the chest. So there's a whole bunch of things. There's angina, there's blood pressure problems, there are arteriosclerosis, there's heart attack, and different aspects of heart problems. But the main problem is the lack of oxygen going to the heart. So if someone has high cholesterol or weakened arteries, capillaries, veins, they have different systems of pain in the chest, and then you can have a problem with your heart itself. The valves don't function properly. It causes great anxiety. You can feel difficulty in blood circulation and breathing. So there are many issues, but the main thing is that there's some type of blockage that stops the flow of oxygen to the heart, and that eventually will cause a heart attack. The same thing, the lack of oxygen to the brain causes a stroke. A lack of oxygen in some part of the body will cause cancer. So oxygen, as we've said many times, is the number one, so we'll call it food of the body. There are certain animals that live in the desert and where there's no water, but they get water from the air. So breathing is essential, but once you breathe in, the circulation of the oxygen throughout the whole body keeps you healthy. And whenever there's some blockage somewhere, you can have a heart attack, you can have a stroke, you can have cancer, you can have fibromyalgia, you can have angina, you have all these different symptoms of lack of oxygen flow throughout the body. So therefore, people who do yoga, which helps you control your breath and helps stimulate blood circulation, usually see an improvement in health. Or doing mild exercise, just walking on a regular basis, because you're getting more oxygen into the bloodstream and it's circulating. So you begin to get healthier again. There are other ways of doing that. And for example, you can take a bath every night with 8 ounces of food-grade hydrogen peroxide. So hydrogen peroxide, H3O, releases oxygen. So food-grade hydrogen peroxide is called 35% hydrogen peroxide. It's not the same as what you buy in the pharmacy. Where you get, it's called 3% hydrogen peroxide, but they put a lot of chemicals in it to stabilize it. But you can get food-grade 35% hydrogen peroxide. But you have to be very careful the way you handle it. It's dangerous as Clorox. If you splash it in your eyes, if you go blind, if you drink it because it looks exactly like water, has no taste. you could choke to death. So therefore, if you handle it properly, just like you handle Clorox, carefully, if you put 8 ounces in a full bathtub of water and soak in it, it releases oxygen that enters the body through the skin as well as by breathing. And it's the safest way of using hydrogen peroxide for your health. There are other ways. They inject it to heal cancer. They have what's called an oxygen, let's say, tank that you enter and you breathe it in. They also have oxygen saunas, hydrogen peroxide saunas that you're in the sauna and you don't, your head's above, it's out of the sauna, but your body is inside, and the hydrogen peroxide mist enters into your body through the skin. So there are different ways of using it, and the whole idea is to introduce more oxygen into the blood. They call the tank that you walk into is called a hyperbaric hydrogen peroxide tank, and it's an expensive treatment for cancer, or they can inject it. But there's always risks with those. But just using it in the bath is virtually risk-free, unless you splash it directly in your face. You know? And but yogis do the same thing by doing yoga, and athletes do the same thing by exercising. So the angina is a very, let's say, causes anxiety because you have difficulty breathing, you feel pain in your chest, and it's a form of heart disease that causes moderate to severe chest pain. And usually it develops after some physical exertion, physical activity. And sometimes it can happen when you're resting or going to sleep. And it's caused by blockage of the arteries. And they talk about cholesterol, and we'll speak about that in a minute. So one way to clean the arteries in a safe, simple way, using Ayurvedic herbs, is to use the herb Google, G-U-G-G-U-L, not G-O-O-G-L-E. G-U-G-G-U-L. It's an Ayurvedic herb. It's very effective at helping to clean the arteries. And if you combine Google, you take 6 to 8 capsules during the day, vegetable capsules. And at night, you take 4 to 5 capsules of Triphala. So the combination Triphala and Google will bring down blood pressure and help clean the arteries. Very simple. If you add to that, following the dietary suggestions, which if you don't have them, I can give it to you after the seminar, then very quickly your blood pressure will come down. And it's relatively inexpensive. Right? And you can look up Google on the internet. There's a lot of studies that have been made, especially for lowering blood pressure. And it's a traditional Ayurvedic herb. Google is a cousin of myrrh, M-Y-R-R-H, which is a traditional biblical herb. It's the resin of a bushy tree that grows in Ethiopia or Eritrea. And you have the same type of bush in India also, which is called Google. Okay, so that's one easy way to bring down blood pressure, yes?
Can you take Triphala as a concentrated form or liquid form?
Google?
Triphala.
Triphala, yeah. Well, best way to take trufla is the powder, the churna,
Sure.
trufla churna. But in my factory, we make organic trufla churna, but in vegetable capsules, so it's very easy to take. Trufla has a certain taste to it. Some people can tolerate it, and others don't. And in India, there's different ways they take it in India. They'll just mix it with water and drink it. But traditionally in the villages, what they do is they mix the trufla in water, and they put jaggery or gur in it, and they melt the jaggery slowly, right? And they leave it overnight. The next day they strain it and they drink that. So that's the actual traditional way of taking it. Otherwise, we put it in capsule form. I mean, it all works. No matter what way you get it into your body, it works. And trufla is not simply for digestive or constipation problems. It's a blood purifier. It's a liver purifier, and it improves your immune system as well as cleans your intestinal tract. So if you want to make other medication more effective, it's always good to take trufla with the other medication. When I say medication, I don't mean pharmaceutical medication. I mean Ayurvedic or naturopathic herbs, right? It's always good to take Google along with it, because Google helps to clean your system out and improve your digestion. And as your digestion improves, you're able to assimilate the other herbs better. So, and Google is called an adaptogenic herb. In other words, like ginseng, it improves the general health of your body, and it helps your body get balanced. It balances the doshas. It's a dosha, let's say, inclusive herb. Whether you're kapha, pitta, it doesn't matter. You can take trufla. Okay, so
how is the proportion of bugula and trifla should be taken?
well, I would suggest take 4 to 5 capsules of trufla before going to sleep at night, and 6 to 8 capsules. Well, let's say 6 capsules of Google during the day.
During the day.
During the day, yeah. And then follow my dietary suggestions, which are very easy to follow. And it works. I mean, I can show you people in the temple with serious blood pressure problems. They follow this thing and it worked. Now, there are different ways of bringing down blood pressure. This is not the only way. We're going to discuss a whole bunch of other ways too, and you might know some ways. But I always like to use simple, relatively inexpensive, natural herbs. With the help of diet and lifestyle. So usually blood pressure, high blood pressure is very dangerous. You can die due to high blood pressure, especially as you go along. The high blood pressure weakens your arteries and veins and capillaries, and usually people have a vein or a capillary burst in the brain and you die very easily. And usually diabetes also causes degeneration of the blood veins and capillaries and arteries, and then you can have a stroke easily. So you see, we're going to discuss herbs right now that build up the collagen matrix of the capillaries, veins, and arteries. Because and also help dilate the capillaries, veins, and arteries. And these are natural dilators, not artificial ones. So immediately you get relief from high blood pressure very, very quickly. Also, if anyone ever has a heart attack, you can stop it with this. Of course, in the normal medical practice, they have other things, chemical things that they use to try and stop a heart attack. Any means you want to stop a heart attack is good. But I only talk about natural things. So cayenne pepper, this is very hot and richy. It's a heart tonic, but usually it's good for many things. Like for example, if you have a serious wound and it's bleeding, you can put this on the wound immediately and it'll stop the bleeding very quickly. Right? But it's also good for mild or even a severe heart attack. If the person can take the capsules, it can give relief rather quickly. You know? And also, just taking it on a regular basis can improve the heartbeat and, in general, the blood circulation and digestion. And this is African bird cayenne. There are different types of Richies or cayennes in the world. African bird cayenne is calculated between 90 and 120 Scoville units. Those are heat units. So usually a very hot chili is around 90 to 150 Scoville units, you know. And then less hot chilies like certain, chilies are like 40, 60 Scoville units. But cayenne is generally a very hot chili. And most people say, oh, I can't take cayenne, it gives me an upset stomach. Yeah, you should never take it on an empty stomach. You can take it after you eat, you know, then you don't feel it. But if you take it on an empty stomach, you feel very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable, because it overheats the stomach. Okay, so this is a good general tonic for digestion, blood circulation, like people have cold hands, cold feet, and that's because they have bad blood circulation. Either the heartbeat is too soft, too slow, or there's some blockage in the arteries. So this is a good thing to take for that. It's a good thing to take for coughs. It's an antispasmodic. In other words, it will relieve the cough rather quickly. It's very good for digestion, and it's a good source of vitamin C. So, but some people are afraid to take it because maybe they took it once on an empty stomach and they almost fainted. But if you eat first and then take one capsule or 2 capsules, you won't feel it. Okay, so
is this taken once a day or twice?
Take it once, twice a day. It's very good for a cold also. You know, coughs and colds. And it's relatively inexpensive. There's 100 capsules. Cayenne, I think it's like $8 or $9, $10. Okay, now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said we can put on the wound. So how to put, like, open
The powder. The powder.
So powder is also available?
Yeah, yeah. Or you can open a capsule. Depends how big the wound is, but it will stop bleeding. You know, I mean, maybe not in 1 minute, but it'll stop. People say, oh, it will burn. No, you won't really feel it. And also, this is one of the best things for arthritic, rheumatoid pain. You take a capsule, you mix it with water or a cream that you have, and you let it sit a little bit, and it'll turn the cream or the water a little bit reddish. Then you apply that on the pain, and it usually will stop the pain. So, but you know, you don't want to put it on with your hand and touch your eye, because your eye will start burning. It won't damage the eye, but it'll be very uncomfortable for a long time. So you have to be careful when you're dealing with chilies, not to touch your eyes. But cayenne has a lot of different uses. Okay, now, yeah.
Can we use this cayenne pepper powder in food like while preparing?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's why in South India they have sambar. Sambar is actually good for a cough or a cold and digestive issues, you know.
Can we talk to the seasonal allergies?
Okay, seasonal allergies, you want to get my Western Washington bee pollen. And sometime in January, February, you start taking that. And by the time you come to May, you'll be immune to the allergy. That's a natural one. Otherwise, you have to take these antihistamines. It doesn't really solve the problem. It gives you some temporary relief. It doesn't solve it. You want to solve the problem, you get my Western Washington bee pollen. Right? Because that's the pollen of the flowers, right, that the bees collect. But you're allergic to that pollen or something in the air, right? So usually it's pollen. If you say it's seasonal, that means every springtime you get the allergy. So then it's most probably pollen in the air, and therefore by eating the bee pollen, incrementally you start with a little bit, and then you keep increasing it every day. And by the time you get to end of April, May, you're immune to the allergy. Otherwise, I would also take trifala, because these allergies are usually caused by inflammation, and then your mucus gets inflamed, and you just can't stop sneezing, and it's due to too many toxins in the body. So trifala is a natural way of getting rid of the toxins in the body. Also, if you get yourself a far infrared sauna, you can buy one at Costco, like $1,200–$1,300, and you sweat. Because by sweating you get rid of toxins. Right? So taking a sauna on a regular basis is a good thing for maintaining your health, because it relieves your body of toxins. Or you can get my pamphlet called Detox Bath. You can get it off my webpage, or you can ask me, I'll give it to you. That teaches you how to use your bathtub as a sauna. Then you don't have to spend $1,200–$1,500. It's a technique. And I also have a thing called Detox Bath. It's made out of clay, multani, and you put it in the bath, you soak in it, and it pulls toxins out of your body, and then you sweat. So the sweating, most people don't sweat.
Here.
They can go, a whole year without sweating,
Yeah.
And that's not good, actually, because sweating detoxifies the body. The skin is the number one eliminative organ for toxins. And there's different things you can do to improve detoxification by the skin. I mean, this is explained in my pamphlet. But one thing that they do traditionally is you apply a mixture of salt and oil on your skin. And it's called an exfoliator. It exfoliates the dead skin on the surface of your skin. It opens up your pores and improves your blood circulation, because when you do that, the roughness of the salt makes your skin red. That means more blood is coming to the surface of your skin. And then after that, you sweat. And then after that, you can take, if you want, a cold shower. So then you're rejuvenated. Your blood circulation improved. You eliminated toxins. So if you do that before you go to sleep at night, you get a better sleep. And if you do it on a regular basis, then you rejuvenate your, your body. You get more energy, you sleep less, you digest better, everything, because you're eliminating toxins. What gets people sick is what's called a sedentary lifestyle. You know, sitting down, watching television 2-3 hours at night, and then sleeping more than 6, 7, 8 hours a day, feeling tired in the afternoon, getting tired after you eat a meal, and so forth. All those are symptoms of an overcharged body with toxins, and poor circulation and poor digestion, and then mental fog, and then starting to, forget things. And so all those are symptoms that you need to detox your body and improve the blood quality and circulation. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what's a diet.